Welcome to the Sunday Best. It's an in-depth look at the best book I read this week. This week's best is Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption by Stephe King. Stephen is known for his horror novels, but has also written other genres including science fiction, mystery, and fantasy. He has over 65 published novels and novellas, with 5 nonfiction books and more than 200 short stories, which are usually compiled into book collections. And there have been 50 films and 30 television shows adapted from his works. Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption was first published in 1982 in a collection called Different Seasons. All right, let's get into the book. The first person we meet is Red. He's our narrator, and he is serving 3 life sentences at Shawshank Prison. Because of his resourcefulness and ability to acquire hard-to-get items within the prison, he has developed a name for himself. He is the guy who can get you what you need while you're on the inside. And despite his criminal past, he still has a kind heart and is a good friend. Red is telling us the story not of himself, but of another inmate, Andy Dufresne. Andy was a banker before he was wrongfully convicted of murdering his wife after she admitted to infidelity. After not putting up much of a fight during the trial, Andy is convicted and sent to Shawshank, where he has a hard time adjusting to his new life in this bleak and ruthless environment. Andy's intelligent and resourceful, and he uses those skills that he had in the real world to gain trust. Eventually, he's put in charge of the prison library. He runs a very successful operation and grows the library considerably. He takes into account other inmates' interests and tries to get more materials for them. He even helps some of the inmates finish their education. Furthermore, Andy has made himself invaluable. He's helping the officers and the warden do their taxes, and he's also providing them with other financial advice. Andy is stoic and a little mysterious, and he rarely shares his feelings with Red, so we never truly know what he's thinking about his own situation. Despite the harsh conditions, he remains optimistic and level-headed and is determined to prove his innocence. Andy finally gets what he deems as enough proof to go to the warden and ask him for help. However, because he set himself up as their financial advisor, the warden doesn't want him to go free, so he dismisses all of his claims and puts Andy in solitary. Andy eventually confides in Red that he had a friend help him set up for life after prison, and shares his dreams for what he would do if he ever gets out. He has a brand new identity that is just ready and waiting for him. But without being able to prove his innocence, he may never get out. But through Red's connection and his ability to get him 2 rock hammers and several pinup posters, and with Andy's resilience, after 28 years, his time at Shawshank is over. This was my first Stephen King book. I am not a spooky, scary girl, so I had to go with something that was a little more my speed. And while this was a novella, I so wish that it would have been longer. His writing was captivating, and his attention to detail really drew me into the story. I can't finish this without talking about the movie adaptation. It is so good. It stays so true to the novel, and I know that all of us book girlies would be so happy if our favorite book was adapted as well as this was. Thank you so much for joining me for the Sunday Best. If you have read Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption, congratulations on reading a spectacular book. If not, I hope that your TBR is officially 1 book longer. Happy reading.